Everyone. Though most of our most recent videos have been more travel-related videos and adventures that we're going on. That's where our this channel was kind of geared toward. This next small series of videos will be geared towards another chapter in our life. Um, we do have some trips planning. So coming up this summer, we are going on a family cruise. We have a trip down to the Keys planned, one to the west coast of Florida, and we're still trying to travel, but with the inflation cost of gas prices, we're trying to stay close to home. And we have invested into a new pontoon boat. It's a 24-foot Bentley. I've already just started doing some projects on it, but the next little series of videos that are going to be released are going to be geared towards improvements and modifications to this boat. As you can kind of see, I've already peeled off the decals, and that's a project that I'm kind of working on. But this video will be a project where I'm going to be converting. Actually, you can see I've already removed this piece here, and I'll go into some detail of what that piece was, where it went, and what we're doing with this. Now, in theory, in my head, everything seems to, I have it all figured out. I've got the parts and everything I need. I still do need to make a trip down to the hardware store to get some other things, but we're going to be converting part of this back, which was a storage bench, where this piece was on top of, into somewhat of a cook, like a, I don't know, table, bar, cook station, things like that here on the back of the boat. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start this video, and stay tuned. We've got a lot of cool stuff in this video, and then a couple other videos after this, and then you'll see some adventure videos of us out using the boat and enjoying the summer and enjoying the water. So appreciate you guys taking a look. Okay, here we are at the back of the boat. I just pulled the cover up. Apparently I got to work on that. We've had some rain, and we're obviously going to get some more here, but we had some pulling water in this cover, so I got to adjust that issue. But anyway, this section over here, this cushioned top was here, and the problem is the wood that's attached to is kind of rotting on this hinge side over here, and there was some of the hydraulic bars that help lift this side up that was actually pushing up on this hinge when it was closed, and it was pulling up on this side, which it wasn't supposed to do. So the idea is we didn't want to lose the storage. It's where we got a little Rubbermaid, or big Rubbermaid thing. We have our tubes and things that we keep mounted in there. We didn't want to lose the storage space, so the ultimate idea is countertop, and I'm going to cut down to size. It's going to fit this area, and then I'm going to replace this as well with another piece of bar section. This here does lift up, as you can see, and it has access to the fuel filter and the batteries and the charger, battery switch, everything that's in here, and the tools that I get. So though this feature will it'll still pop up like this, it will be a part of the butcher block, and that will be where I put my grill. I can set my grill on that. I can sit in here and cook on that. We can have this as like a serving table, or we can have it as a bar. You can actually sit at and eat or use, and it might be a little bit more usable than just being a cushion, a place people can sit or something like that. So here is our tabletops that were made. My buddy Wes helped me. Well, he actually did it for me. He came up with the design, but notched a little piece out of the 1x so we can flush mount the plywood inside, and it's measured to size. So the next step here will be to go ahead and stain these pieces of wood. I have an idea for this piece of wood here to add a little bit more flair and more. I'm going to put some lights through it, I think, but hopefully, if I can get the right drill bit and start to do it, hopefully it'll come out pretty cool. So first step here is just going to go ahead and stain this. It shouldn't take too long to get these pieces stained. We went to Home Depot and we got the just a quart of the stain, and it's dyed to it's called North Sea, so it's like a blue color to the dye. So let's go ahead and get it on and see what it looks like. And 5 minutes later, you get the blue stain on the piece, and that's exactly what I was looking for. Just one coat, wipe it off. We have some sealant that's going to go on this too to protect it once we're all done. But this darker blue will match the boat quite nicely. So this is basically exactly what we're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the other little piece and let this dry real good, and we'll move on to the next step. Though the project is a little tedious, we are putting 600 fiber optic cables through this board. Basically what we wound up doing was dividing the back of the board in 6 blocks, so we can, because there's 600 fibers here in this little kit, and then taking it 1 block at a time and dividing 100 fibers, drilling 100 little tiny holes randomly through the board in that block, and then right now we just cut the fibers to the generic length and then pushing them through one by one. This is what it looks like on the other side for right now. The next step would be to glue everything in and then cut the fibers flush to the front of the board. So we finish pushing these in, and we'll see what it looks like from there. So to try to glue the fiber in place, I just got some Ultimate wood glue here. It's one that's rated for waterproof, since this is going to be on the boat. It wasn't much, about $27 for the gallon, and we just dumped it in, and it's starting to self-level, and it says it takes about 30 minutes to dry. So we've got some more places over here that I got a paintbrush. I'm going to try to scoot in to make sure every single one of the fibers is covered. I did lay down a sheet just to protect the floor and raise it up off the ground a little bit, but hopefully this will help keep these fibers in place permanently, so I can, when this dries, we can flip it over and cut the fibers and then put the clear coat on top. Alright, what I did is just got a cheap piece of like 1/4-inch plywood just to go on the back, and we're going to wind up staining and sealing this as well. This will go to protect the fibers. I had to cut this notch out, obviously, so we have room for the fibers to move when the bar top is actually hinged up and down. I got to put another screw right there. But this is to protect the fibers. It's actually to keep them in place, but to protect the fibers when it's closed. If we have something underneath, now again, this is the bottom, but if we have anything stored underneath and it gets hooked on one of the fibers and we go to lift it up, it's not going to pull the fibers out of place. So next step is going to turn it over, plug it in, and cut the fibers. All right, here's it right set up and plugged in. And basically we got a pair of, I'm thinking nail clippers will probably be the best way to clip these. Just go as close as possible and snip. So we have a flush mounted light. So we go and do that 600 times and make them all flush mounted. So that's what I'll be doing over the next 20 minutes or so probably. All right, well, we got everything on. We got the vinyl stuck where it needs to be stuck. I've also stained the bottom of the board to make sure it, it matches when we do have to lift it up to access. And now it's time for the clear coat. I'm probably going to be putting a few clear coats on, a few coats of this, but this is specifically designed for marine coating. I'm going to assume it's a very thin, I've never used this stuff before, but it's very thin. It's not like a thick, what do they call it, polyurethane or anything like that. It's just basically to seal the wood. I'm painting over the decals, painting over all the fiber optic ends and everything. I did go through, I have a couple little pieces actually before I start. I need to go ahead and cut back off. But I'm going to start applying the coats onto these on the top here anyway, and letting that dry, and then we'll do the bottom side and then we can install it. All right, here's the finished project on the boat. I know this video is a little put together kind of poorly, but there's a couple of things in my defense that had kind of gotten in the way. It's been on the boat for about a week and a half or so. We did take it out, and as you can see, the lights are lit up, and these lights are controlled by an app, so I can make them change whatever colors I want. As you can see, if I put the board in the shade, you can actually see it a little better. I'll say it looks better with the lights on during the day, because you can look at it, you can see the lights coming through, you can read the decal, but at night the lights that you're shining at you are kind of blinding to the point where you can't see the decals, just a bunch of lights shining up. So we might be mounting something a little higher to kind of illuminate this for the nighttime, but for the most part it worked well. So you can see that this used to be white, but putting the clear coat on, for some reason it had like this yellowish tinge to it, which turned all the white a little yellow. It's not a big deal, but I did notice that, so be mindful of that as well. And then I just refastened it with the original hardware. So this comes up this way, that one comes up this way, so I still have access to the battery compartment and the storage that's underneath here. And if I want to, I can put my grill here. It's perfect size. I can stand on the back of the boat and cook there. I can use this as like a serving table, and just add a little flair to it. So hope you guys like this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, and we'll have some other videos coming. Probably the next video after this posted will be our trip that we kind of spontaneously took to North Carolina, and then in about 3 weeks we're going on a cruise. So we got some more videos coming up, travel videos, but you'll see some videos of the pontoon and things like that as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.